The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing. Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been. The only wealth which you will keep forever is the wealth you have given away. How much time he gains, who does not look to see what his neighbor says, or does, or thinks, but only at what he does himself. The happiness of those who want to be popular depends on others. The happiness of those who seek pleasure fluctuates with moods outside their control. But the happiness of the wise grows out of their own free acts. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If it's not right, don't do it. If it's not true, don't say it. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Loss is nothing else but change, and change is nature's delight. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. When you are offended at any man's fault, turn to yourself and study your own failings. Then you will forget your anger. Look well into thyself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up, if thou wilt always look. The wise man sees in the misfortune of others what he should avoid. To live happily is an inward power of the soul. The object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. The mind in itself has no needs except for those it creates itself. Don't let your imagination be crushed by life as a whole. Don't try to picture everything bad that could possibly happen. Stick with the situation at hand and ask, why is this so unbearable? Why can't I endure it? Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, Be good. Adapt yourself to the things among which your lot has been cast, and love sincerely the fellow creatures with whom destiny has ordained that you shall live. The true worth of a man is to be measured by the objects he pursues. Life is neither good nor evil, but only a place for good and evil. He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe. Confine yourself to the present. Dwell on the beauty of life. Watch the stars and see yourself running with them. It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present. Whenever you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself the following question: what fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I am about to criticize? I have often wondered how it is that every man loves himself more than all the rest of men, but yet sets less value on his own opinion of himself than on the opinion of others. When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous and surly. They are like this because they can't tell good from evil. But I have seen the beauty of good and the ugliness of evil, and have recognized that the wrongdoer has a nature related to my own, not of the same blood and birth, but the same mind, and possessing a share of the divine. And so, none of them can hurt me. Reject your sense of injury, and the injury itself disappears. Live a good life. If there are gods and they are just, then they will not care how devout you have been, but will welcome you based on the virtues you have lived by. If there are gods, but unjust, then you should not want to worship them. If there are no gods, then you will be gone, but will have lived a noble life that will live on in the memories of your loved ones. How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it? The first rule is to keep an untroubled spirit. The second is to look things in the face and know them for what they are. Here is a rule to remember when anything tempts you to feel bitter. Not, this is misfortune, but, to bear this worthily is good fortune. You always own the option of having no opinion. There is never any need to get worked up or to trouble your soul about things you can't control. These things are not asking to be judged by you. Leave them alone. What we do now echoes in eternity. Do not indulge in dreams of having what you have not, but reckon up the chief of the blessings you do possess, and then thankfully remember how you would crave for them if they were not yours. Look back over the past, with its changing empires that rose and fell, and you can foresee the future too. Don't you see the plants, the birds, the ants and spiders, and bees going about their individual tasks, putting the world in order as best they can? And you're not willing to do your job as a human being. Why aren't you running to do what your nature demands? Your days are numbered. Use them to throw open the windows of your soul to the sun. If you do not, the sun will soon set, and you with it. Brief is man's life, and small the nook of the earth where he lives. Brief, too, is the longest posthumous fame, buoyed only by a succession of poor human beings who will very soon die and who know little of themselves, much less of someone who died long ago. Receive without conceit, release without struggle. The things you think about determine the quality of your mind. If someone can prove me wrong and show me my mistake in any thought or action, I shall gladly change. I seek the truth, which never harmed anyone. The harm is to persist in one's own self-deception and ignorance. Humans have come into being for the sake of each other, so either teach them or learn to bear them. Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs. Regain your senses, call yourself back, and once again wake up. Now that you realize that only dreams were troubling you, view this reality as you view your dreams. Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. If you are pained by external things, it is not they that disturb you, but your own judgment of them. And it is in your power to wipe out that judgment now. Is it your reputation that's bothering you? Look at how soon we're all forgotten. The abyss of endless time that swallows it all. The emptiness of those applauding hands. The people who praise us. How capricious they are, how arbitrary. And the tiny region it takes place. The whole earth a point in space, and most of it uninhabited. Observe always that everything is the result of change, and get used to thinking that there is nothing nature loves so well as to change existing forms and make new ones like them. Death smiles at us all. All we can do is smile back. The memory of everything is very soon overwhelmed in time. Be like the cliff against which the waves continually break, but it stands firm and tames the fury of the water around it. No one can lose either the past or the future. How could anyone be deprived of what he does not possess? Pass then through this little space of time, conformably to nature, and end thy journey in content, just as an olive falls off when it is ripe, blessing nature who produced it, and thanking the tree on which it grew. A man must stand erect, not be kept erect by others. Is your cucumber bitter? Throw it away. Are there briars in your path? Turn aside. That is enough. Do not go on and say, "Why were things of this sort ever brought into this world?" Think of your many years of procrastination. How the gods have repeatedly granted you further periods of grace, of which you have taken no advantage. It is time now to realize the nature of the universe to which you belong, and of that controlling power whose offspring you are, and to understand that your time has a limit set to it. Use it then to advance your enlightenment, or it will be gone and never in your power again. What we cannot bear removes us from life. What remains can be borne. Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. A wrongdoer is often a man who has left something undone, not always one who has done something. Everything, a horse, a vine, is created for some duty. For what task then were you yourself created?